Okay, we're past the crash stage. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. My desk is filled with stuff. Live. Okay, I got the alert. On save. And we're going to close that down. I do want to check home if there's anything that I'm missing. I got a question about Celsius, but I don't care about Celsius. I mean, sugary drinks. By the way, it's Tuesday, July 16th. Goldman Sachs, back to school sending, likely to remain same. Backs away from 1 million EVs. Morgan Stanley, NASDAQ, Insight, Moderna among most shorted healthcare stocks in June. Morningstar, Bank of America earnings tops. I got that. Earnings summary. Did Schwab report? I like this. Schwab. Down 4% at 72. I guess they did report. Let's see. We're going to put this one in. Stop. We're going to go. Earnings summary. Mixed Q2 resort reports. We'll put Schwab. Because I do like Schwab. I mean, Schwab is a great trading stock. I'm early because I got to go to Tesla today. Schwab mixed quarter. Boom, boom. I mean, there's a reason Bank of America is in the core portfolio. It's because they beat. They just beat. Let's see. No filter. Yeah, I guess Schwab did. Schwab doesn't have a market cap. I'm shocked. No filter. Huh. What's Schwab's market cap? Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Schwab market cap. Yeah, 137 billion. It's earnings hub. Yeah, AXP is Friday. I wrote about it in the paid newsletter, and probably not crazy to let folks know, but I'm not 100% sure what to think about American Express. Consumer's weak, but the higher-end consumer is not. And is it worth kind of risking on there? Would I rather risk there, or do I think that maybe I don't know. Hold on one second. I just want to look. Okay, content live. Okay, it is monetized. Wait. Why doesn't this have? I guess it's on, but what up, WE? Yeah, on the last earnings it did. Because, well, look, it beat by 12%. They reported $3.33, $3.25. I'm just, reported $15 billion. eBay dropped them. And, they're reporting an increase in revenues. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting one. It's not in my core portfolio, and it should be. I mean, just based on its performance. But I don't know. I mean, it's definitely an interesting one. This Schwab one, I mean, come on. You buy on a pullback, it's trading at $70. I think if it trades back to that $68, I think you grab this one. I think you grab that one. But let's see. Let's do some scans. I don't want that. I don't need that. I got a bunch of cameras. I got my Sony. And I think I'm going to be shooting something for the channel here. So, let's go to the scanner. I'm not going to stay on until 10 today. Maybe a little less. Oxy. Oxy has an entry at 61. Looking like energy might get a bid. Let's see. Anything that I own other than Oxy? Nope. Nothing got a cross there. Bitcoin. B-top. Crypto. B-top. And DeFi. WGMI. I did the core. Let's look at covered call ETFs. I should call them income ETFs. That's probably a better name for them. Energy. Energy. Sun, MPC, FANG, Oxy, BTU, and Arch. Sunoco's been one that's interesting because, I mean, you look at, it's strong. It's just a super strong stock. Levered ETFs, anything. The VIX was up 5% if you didn't know. I mean, we can look at UVIXY. We can look at a 4-hour on this one. Yesterday's candle was 0.51. It's just not, UVIXY's not getting the, maybe it's SVIXY. XVIXY is not getting the thing. SDS. ETFs. SDS. Low cost Vanguard. I did get a question. I probably should bring this up. Not low cost. Spider sectors. Nothing there. Let's look at the watch list. There's got to be a couple on the watch list. Yep. Frog and Toast. And Duolingo and AppLovin and CLS. Sentinel got a bid yesterday. Doc N. Zscaler got a big boost. Okta. Okta's just one god. I mean, it's just crossing that 200-day. It's starting to move. Sentinel 1 is one that, again, I think I like that one. Marathon Petroleum, little weak. Duolingo got killed. I mean, is it ever going to do this gap? AppLovin under 100. I don't think that's... CLS is just, God. Morning, Blake. Or should I say Balaki? Balaki. Nothing in the Dow. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Hunter, if you're here, I will look at SMR. But it might be tomorrow. You got to get me before I get on the air for me to look at stuff. MasterCard. I think Visa got a cross up yesterday, so yes. What is SMA? Smart Sheet. Never heard of it. But it's a yeah. Trade that one. Let's see. Smart Sheet. Oh, it's not Smart Sheet. SMA is Symmetric Medical. Does he really want me? SMR. I was going to say SMR. What's that? New Scale Power. It's energy. It's gotten a bid, 3.4 billion. SMR. I don't want that one. No, I'll look at it tomorrow, Hunter, if you're here. But not one I necessarily need to look at today. I've got a quick show to kind of do. Okay, let's see. We are going to open up Schwab earnings. We're going to open up Bank of America beat. UNH, I should probably go over UNH. Let's look at UNH. This is, yeah. I mean, we'll include this article because this is the one that you want to read if you're in UNH. And again, Wall Street strong buy. I mean, it's 11% upside, but with Trump, I can't imagine that this is a good one. AMD Broadcom Marvell likely to benefit in second half. NVIDIA again gets a bid up. Just announced Jensen Huang and Bezos. Let's see if Amazon, do they have anything as far as that's July 14th. It's Prime Day. Morning, Steph. I don't see anything really on that. Affirm went nuts yesterday. I don't think there's any. Goldman lists top 25 tactical trades for earnings season. We can look at just that chart. SOFI gaps up. This is just, that's biggest stock movers of the day. I told you DJT was going to be back down, and DJT was back down to where it was. So, Lending Club we will look at. consensus IWM was support. We'll look at the chart. Okay. That's it. And then the Prime Day sale. Trendspider is having a Prime Day sale for 3 days. 6 months free when you pay annually. So there's no monthly discount, but pay annually, and you can get this enhanced version for basically the price of standard. This is 41% off. This is 50% off. So, and this one comes with unlimited one-on-one training. So if you're new to technical trading, yeah, and I saw HIMS. Let me see if HIMS. Yesterday, HIMS was good. The thing that worries me about HIMS is just the valuation, and that's it. HIMS is up 5% yesterday. The valuation scares the hell out of me. They're not making money. You look at their growth, and it looks great, 45%, but that's down from 55%. So when you take a look at, go to the summary page, and you look at their seasonality, they're going into a weak season, which is August. You know, it hasn't been around for very long. So, you know, September, October, they've been weak kind of stuff. The weight loss drugs gets kind of crazy, but, you know, annual revenue, we can look at the quarterly revenue. They're expected to continue to rise. And I think in the times of a weak consumer, I don't know. I mean, there's been bad kind of blood out there on this stuff. So I just, you know, I think Eli Lilly is talking about suing them. Remember what they're doing with their formula is they're actually going to local compounding pharmacies. So if you don't know, and the only reason I know this is because one time I had a rash. I think it was on my foot or the back of my leg or something, and I needed a compounding. It's not something that, you know, when the dermatologist says, oh, you get a cream. I needed to go to a compounding pharmacy. It's a local pharmacy where they actually make the stuff. Well, HIMS actually is going to these local compounding pharmacies, and they will deliver to you they have their own compounding pharmacy, and they will create their GLP-1. So, and that's what this article says, compounded GLP-1. So I'm not a huge fan of HIMS. It is what it is. Strong trading, Microsoft or Morgan Stanley beats Apple, time to sell. What is this? Let's see. He said buy at the exact right time. At the exact right time. Wow. Apple changed to date April 12th. He said buy. That was a great call from this guy. You know what? I'll include this analysis. I don't think I have anything in Apple here. It's an interesting one. I mean, am I selling? No. Time to sell. We'll include that one. Okay, hold on one second. Wow, June retail sales were good. Morning, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, Daisy. I am sorry. I did not mean to kick you. That was not my intention, but you were hanging out down there. Let me put this. Okay, we're going to put this right before UNH. Okay, there. We're going to put that one there. I'm going to open up a new one, and we're going to go to Seeking Alpha here. This is a good analysis too. I'm going to put this in. Why not? Buy it now. We included that yesterday, but I'll put that right after the Apple. So it's right there. I like that analysis. We're going to put this alpha.com. For Solar Marvell, Taiwan's crushing sales target ahead of Q2 earnings. Focused on NVIDIA. Yeah, there's a... I mean, I'm not supposed to show all this stuff, but... Oh, well. Bum, bum, bum. I got to create more portfolios on this profile. Okay, QQQ. We're looking at it. Wah, wah. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to shrink it. Okay, there we go. We're looking at this year. That's a good look. Okay. Morning, Daniel. Do I have my do not disturb on? I do. Okay. So I'm going to hit record. It's 8:30. Okay. What up? Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 16th. And it's Amazon Prime Day. And what do we have on Amazon Prime Day? We have a Trendspider sale. Trendspider is on sale today for the next 3 days. If you go to Trendspider, how do you get to Trendspider? Go to my link tree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick, and it's the top one. Stay tuned because I will go through all of the charts. We'll go through Apple. We'll go through Amazon. We will go through a small cap name that was brought up to me that's up huge that benefits from lower interest rates. We will go over some of the earnings, United Health, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Schwab, things of that sort. But I want to point out this sale on Trendspider because you get 6 months for free. So the standard plan, nothing changes, $53 a month if you want that one. But what does change is this middle tier, enhanced. You get more workstations. You get trading bots, which basically allow you to trade automatically if your brokerage is supported. You get 100 simultaneous alerts, which means you can have 50 buy and 50 sell signals to text to your phone. You get 90-day maximum alert lifetime, so you can set it up for 90 days. I mean, that's what I love about that. And if you're new to trading, this is where the big saving comes in. If you're new to technicals and you don't understand technicals, it can be overwhelming to learn a charting program. If you don't have the money, though, understand, get a free charting program. Webull. Go over here to my link tree. It is the fourth one. It has a free charting program. You can get that free. Learn how to read charts. It is important. We are at all-time highs. At some point in time, we start to pull back. That was the talk on Spaces yesterday. But here are the deals. And this advanced one, if you're new and you have this money and you have a large enough portfolio, I would urge you to take advantage of this sale at the advanced level. It's $111 a month. But it includes, if you look down to the bottom level, it includes unlimited one-on-one training. And that's what I want you to basically get. It can be overwhelming to learn a new software tool and a new way of trading, but I think that advanced tool, this is the best sale that they have. I mean, 50% off that one. Now, if standard or enhanced for $5 a month, go in the enhanced. Again, that's the benefit of the sale. It's Prime Day. I bought a vacuum. I bought a Shark vacuum on my, yesterday. It's normally like $299. It was $150, 50% off. And it was last night. I haven't checked if it's coming today. So I bought a vacuum. I'll buy more. I'm going to buy some Wise cams. I'm going to buy some other stuff. I go a little bit crazy on Prime Day. It's electronics. I like that stuff. So I was looking at Mac Mini. You may have a completely new podcast here in the next, few weeks if I buy a Mac Mini. I may be doing screen grabs. I may be doing a ton of stuff. I think you like this one right now. So let's talk about a little bit. There's a couple of things I want to bring up. This first one. This is from Evan on Twitter, X, whatever you want to talk about it. But this is interesting. Approximately 69%, this is from Trendspider, 69% of the stocks in the S&P are now trading above their 50-day SMA. That's amazing. That to me, that's shocking. Shocking. I'm going to pull that one up. But again, how do you find this out? Now, what I did was I set up a screener. Okay, this is Finviz. This is 100% free. You don't have to pay for this. You have to have tools to be able to do this stuff. Finviz, when I set it up, I said, tell me anything on the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. That's a large cap company. That means $10 billion or more. That's trading 10% below their SMA, 50-day SMA. 50-day is a medium SMA, so you know. AES, ALB, Chipotle, Delta, Estee Lauder, HubSpot, Molina Healthcare, Nike. I am not going to go over any of these stocks as far as the charts, but what I want to point out to you is when you start to see some of these underperformers, they're under their 50-day, which means they're doing badly. If something is to change in the consumer, like for instance, we get good consumer retail sales, which we just did, they were unchanged versus a minus 0.4 estimate. Maybe the consumer's not doing as badly as we expected. You can see Macy's is up 1% today. They were down yesterday, overreaction. But if Delta is going to come back, maybe Chipotle after their 100-for-1 stock split, maybe Albemarle with the lithium stuff, maybe AES, which looks like it had a recent downturn, Nike, which has been trading sideways, Molina Healthcare, which has been down, HubSpot. Major reaction when Google was announced they weren't going to buy them. So I thought this was interesting. Again, with that tweet, I thought it was just an interesting one. The VIX. Now let's talk about the VIX. I don't know if I have the VIX on here. I don't have the VIX on here, but I will post this thing. I looked in Seeking Alpha. Let's go over to Seeking Alpha and let's look at this, because what I want to do is type in the VIX, and specifically, I want to see. Yesterday it was up 5%. Now, what does that tell us? The VIX was up 5% yesterday at its peak on Monday, which probably quantifies as a spike. That would consider, if you got 5% in a day on a stock, that would consider a spike. The VIX measures implied volatility over the next 30 days that through changes in the prices and options on the S&P. It's been tamed for months. Look at this. I mean, you can see 6 months. It's kind of traded in this range. It pops up every now and then. You can look at 1 month. It is up 3.71%. Again, you want to take a look at these things. I have the closing price. We can look at, let's see, analysis. I don't know where it is on this thing, but the closing price by day. I have it on my app. I like the Seeking Alpha app. Again, if you have Seeking Alpha, get it. You can sign up through the link tree over here. It's the second link. I save you, $25, $25 free 7-day trial. I like the app. It shows the closing price was $13.12. We haven't been at that level for months. Again, here's the last time it was up at 14, May 29th. Now, if we just go back and look at the Qs and we look at May 29th, you look at this. This was the dip. That was the dip and the time to buy. That was the dip and the time to buy when the VIX went up. Is that what we're seeing now? Is this the dip to buy? Are we going back to 486? Are you going back to 480? I would argue 500 is setting up to be a resistance level that will push us higher through the end of the year. Is this going to be the absolute low that you're going to get in the next 2 or 3 months? I don't think so. I don't think so. And here's the key. Ryan Dietrich yesterday, I pointed this out on Spaces. Russell 2K small caps. I don't cover the Russell 1K. I don't cover the Russell 2K. I don't cover small caps. Other times that when the Russell 2000 outperformed the Russell 1000, October 08, October 11, March 20, March 2021, all of these were low. All super bullish times. In fact, the S&P higher 1 year later, every time and up an average of 32%. He pointed out on this chart. So the consensus on the Spaces yesterday, by the way, was IWM, the support at 212. So we can take a look at IWM. This is the one that Tom Lee thinks is going to outperform and triple by the end of the year. If we get higher than expected earnings, yes. Now, 212 is a support level. How did I come up with that support level on this chart? Right here. Take a look. One time, it pushed back there on March 12th. 2 times it pushed back there. Last week, our high was 214. So it pumped over. Now, if this week holds that 212, the open was 202. So the candle will still be touching that 212. The open was 214. The low is 214. If we hold that 212 throughout this week, expect IWM to pump. Expect it to go up. Expect that to be your support level. The Russell 2000 hit its highest level since January 2022, which was the start of the first rate cuts. This goes since this was January 2022, this is November 2021 when the IWM started falling. One stock that was brought up yesterday, and I will bring this up. This was interesting, and this is how you find this stuff, and this is how you do your own research. Okay, Lending Club. Dude on Spaces yesterday brought it. He's a small cap investor, and he says Lending Club, this is a stock that lends out money. What are they going to benefit from? Lower interest rates. So let's take a look at the stock chart. We'll go and take a look at the weekly. Okay, doesn't look like a great stock chart under the 200-day. This 50-day is moving negative, but it's flattening out. The 200-day still moving negative. Again, when you look at this red line, that's the 200-day. It's moving left to right, but it's still down. It's flattening out, maybe moving positive. When you take a look at what will move the volume level, this volume level to its high point, okay? November 2021. Where is volume? It is right here between $6.51 and $9.85. Right now, this is trading at $9.99. Okay, let's go to FinViz. Most of you have access to FinViz. It is free. We can go and look. Well, what's the book value of this one? $11.40. We talk about banks all the time. $11.40 is the bank. What's the average price target? $10.78. That would be a nice 7% move here. A nice 7% move. Again, you're dealing with a $10 stock, 7% move. You look at the initiated coverage, BIT, their price target, the most recent, is 12. That was the only one this year. So again, that price target may be 12. It might not actually be 10. So when you go and look at it, are people selling? They sold a little bit. That's $22,000 worth. That's not a lot. They're exercising options. All of through 2024, but nobody's selling. So let's go over to Seeking Alpha and let's look at Lending Club. Again, these are your tools that you're going to use. Seeking Alpha analysts say it's a strong buy. Again, Lending Club. When we look at the Wall Street, they say it's a buy. We talked about that $10 price target, 7% upside. We talked about, the price versus the target. The price target has been coming down. It's kind of, coming up there. So maybe it's a little bit extended, but when you take a look at revisions, 7 up, 2 down, 5 up on revenues, 4 down. When do they report? Let's see. They report on July 29th. So maybe they have some good guidance on this one. When we go over here and we look at the quant, the valuation is a B. That's not bad. You look, it's an F as far as the PE goes. The PEG, they don't really give anything forward. But when you look at their actual, price to sales, price to the price to book, again, the price to book, 1.53. I'm sorry, 0.88. It's 26% below the sector. It's ranked 7 out of 37. This is a small cap that they said. What's the number one? Money Lion. You take a look at Moneyline. Well, Moneyline is a strong buy in the quant, but it's got a valuation of D. It's not ranked number 1. They're not making money. They don't have a PE. Their forward PE, they might make money. They don't have a PEG ratio, but it's a strong buy. So this is how you do your research. Do I know where this one's going? Absolutely not. Let's take a look at the 4-hour algorithm. How does this one perform? Well, it performs about the same as buy and hold. You lose 21% with the algorithm. It's 33 positions over 24 months. But this one, $8.31. Your average win is 13%. So let's take a look at this one. How far have you run on this one? Well, you're up 21% on this one. So you're more. Do you want to buy into this one? I don't know. For small caps, this one seems like an interesting one where, you're below your 200-day. You just crossed your 50-day. Your 50-day is providing you pretty much support at $7. Is it worth buying in at $7 thinking that this one could come up to the 200-day at 13? Seems like a good risk to me. So again, this one looks like a good trade. And again, I just bring it up as the way to, listen to spaces, listen to somebody on the internet, and then go and do your own research. That was just a 101. Taking Lending Club, maybe finding Moneyline or one of the other stocks that's a top lender, in this thing. Again, with lowering interest rates, these could fly. One that flew yesterday was Affirm, AFRM. This is one, I wouldn't buy into this one. It's a hold. It was up 8% yesterday. It's up 1.8%. In pre-market. Could you trade this one? Absolutely, you can trade this one. Would I own it? No, I wouldn't. It's overvalued, but it's going to get the pump when people start talking about it. Now, the algorithm makes you 20% in this one. Buying and holding makes you 45%. Why do you want to trade 20%? Because the downside's huge. You got a gap up here between 42 and 41. Could you come back up to that? Absolutely. With hype, you can. It's got to get over this 200-day. The 200-day right now at 33 will provide you some resistance. It's trading at, let's see, $32.70. This one pumped yesterday. So, you want to take a look at these things. Now, let's see. Biggest movers of the day. This is DJT. I said it yesterday. DJT, after a 31% surge in the previous session, shares of DJT fell approximately 10%. This one's coming back down to where it was. And I pointed out yesterday that this is one that you absolutely want to trade. You don't want to own. Now, the 4-hour algorithm, I would not trade it on this, but it did get you in at $30. That is probably where you're going back to. You're at 37 right now. You are probably going back to $30. What's a good algorithm to trade this one in? Well, it's the 65-minute. And the reason the 65-minute is good, again, it brings in that 65-minute. It got you in at $29.88. Do you want to get out right now? I would say probably not. It's setting up nicely at this $37 to $40 right here. But why do you want to trade the 65-minute? Hey, Gary, the 4 hours seems like, you always talk about how good it is. Well, with a stock like this that's super volatile, you want to bring those candles in. You want to trade it. You want to basically trade it on a shorter time frame because that's going to allow you the ability to restrict the downside. A 4-hour time algorithm on a stock where Waffle Houses make more revenue, not the Waffle House corporation, Waffle House locations make more money. Well, this one makes sense because when you back test it for 8 months on DJT, you make 1,000% using the algorithm. If you back test it for 8 months and you just bought and held, you make 173%. That's fantastic, 173%. You what, almost 4 times your money? That's fantastic. But 1,000%, trading over 8.3 months, 78 positions. Hey, I'm gonna buy this at $29.88. Trump gets an assassination attempt. This was July 11th. Last week. Did it know that an assassination attempt was going to take? But no, but it knew the Republican National Convention was coming up. Makes sense. Again, this is how you trade in this market. A biggest gainer, Match Group, after an activist investor revealed a 6.6% stake. I don't usually trade into stuff like that. Match Group, I never paid for dating. I use the free stuff. SOFI, we talk about SOFI all the time. This is the gap hunter, and it's looking for a gap. This is a chart from Trendspider. I think it's a daily chart. The SMA, 200 SMA, you got a gap up there just below 9. Let's take a look at the 4-hour algorithm. So if we go to SOFI, again, you can trade the 65-minute on any of these. When you sign up for Trendspider, I provide you all of these. Now, the 65-minute algorithm makes you 29% in SOFI, and it got you in at $6.42. You're at $7.35. Again, 29% over 8 months. That's fantastic. Let's look at the 4-hour, though. The 4-hour, I feel more comfortable with. It's just something. And they talked about this gapping up here. Look, you've broken the 200-day. We talk about this 200-day being resistance all the time. SOFI has gaps. It's a good one. We can look at that one. The RSI, crazy, 75. Do you want to buy it? I'd probably wait. If you do buy it, I'd probably have a stop loss here at 720 because if it breaks that 200-day, you're probably coming back down to the 50, which is 665. Trade it. Again, SOFI for me doesn't make sense to actually own it. We can look at this one, from a valuation perspective. It's got a C valuation, but when they actually start to turn a profit, this will explode. This will be a $10, $11 stock. I don't think it's a bad one. We can look at Wall Street. Wall Street says hold. Price target is $8.75. That's a 19% upside. So again, but they're bringing it down. Do they bring it down again? I don't know. When does SOFI report? Let's see. Their report comes out July 29th. So if they are going to gap up, it's going to be to that $8.55. That might be worth the risk. Again, you don't want to load your account up on this. You don't, if you have a $10,000 account, do not put $9,000 into SOFI thinking, oh my God, it's going to pop. No, you get your value in there. You put $500 in there. It's not a bad one. Amazon. Talked about Amazon yesterday on the Spaces. And I said this is the best long-term bet you can make. Short-term, I don't know what the hell it's going to do. Algorithm got you out yesterday with a 6% gain. We talked about this 188 being support. It's up 1% in pre-market. Prime Day. You knew Prime Day was going to come up. You knew Prime Day on this, the stock was going to pump on Prime Day. You knew it. You also know that Bezos is selling at $200. He sold it. He filed another sale yesterday. If you go over here to Amazon and we look at this on FinViz, you can see all the insider information. Trendspider has all the insider information. I don't use it. The reason I don't use it, I have my charts. I like to look at charts, but I use FinViz to see the insider. Here, he's selling at $200. Your cap is $200. He is going to sell $5 billion. Is it any, he's going to buy the Boston Celtics. I mean, that's going to be what Bezos does. He's going to buy the Boston Celtics. I think that's why he's selling all the $5 billion worth. I think that's what he's doing. But it got you out with a 6% gain. Do you want to trade this one? I would argue the 4-hour algorithm makes you 51%. Buying and holding makes you 67%. I think that Amazon is a $250 stock. We can go and take a look at the Wall Street estimates on Amazon. It's a strong buy. Wall Street estimates $221. That's a 14% upside. I think this is the best long-term buy that you can do. Will you lose short-term? Probably. Yeah, the pressure might put it down to about 188, 189. That is new support. I will tell you, this broken portion, I think is good news that is now support. You haven't broken this one before for this long. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks now where it stayed above 188. Can it go down? Absolutely. The valuation is a little bit nuts on this one. The PE, 53. That's crazy. The PEG, the forward PEG, 1.81. It's under 2, but the sector's 1.51. The growth, absolute A minus. 12% year over year. At a company this big, profitability, their profit margin's 47%. I like the stock. I do. I think this is the best long-term one. I am adding to that one. I like it. I am just sorry that I sold it 176, but I trimmed it. My average purchase price is like in the 50 something, 15. I don't exactly know. Now, let's talk about NVIDIA. Because NVIDIA, again, It just pumps out with news. Just announced CEO Jensen Huang and Meta's CEO Mark Zuckerberg will participate in a fireside chat on July 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern. The chat is titled AI and the Next Computing Platforms with Jensen Huang. I mean, the title, it kind of sells itself. But NVIDIA, I am adding to this position, but in this range. And I've talked about this many, many times. And I've put the chart out there in the newsletter. And the newsletter is 100% free. I am adding between 122 and 140. Do I care that it's at 128 and I bought a lot at 131 and I started a new position at that point? I started adding. No, MACD seems fine. RSI at 51, I'm okay with. When you look at the weekly, it is stretched. It is absolutely stretched. Could it come down? Absolutely. I think you're looking at something like this where it trades sideways. We could be looking at something like July of last year where it couldn't get out of its own way and it was trading between 400 and 500. I don't care. I want long term on this one. And Meta is under $500. I mean, again, we talked about this one getting to its all-time high, passing that 381. When you look at the weekly on this one, that 381 was the old high. That was the all-time high. You're trading sideways. Now, is this one crazy valuation? Probably. I mean, again, it's a hold in the quant. The valuation, the PE is 28. We're in an election year. Their PEG ratio going forward, it's a 1.35. So again, anything under 500, I don't think 500 is crazy. You just have to worry about what Mark Zuckerberg is going to spend. That's it. AMD, we talked about chips. AMD, Broadcom, and Marvell likely to see increased AI benefits in the second half from TD Cowen. If you want to read this one, I own AVGO, which is mentioned in the article. I do own AMD. I do not own Marvell. Take your pick. What do you want? My pick, Apple. This dude, though, I will tell you, this analysis, I just read the headlines. I haven't read the full analysis. But this dude had the best call. Look at his two. He told you to sell when it was, up here on January 19th, okay? But he told you to buy back in April 12th. So let's go and look at the Apple chart, okay? We're going to go look at this year on the Apple chart in the 4-hour algorithm because I want to show you how you take a look at some of these analysts, okay? We're going to look at, let me go back there and see. He told you to buy on January 19th, or I'm sorry, to sell on January 19th and buy on April 12th. So January 19th, we're looking at this one. January 19th wasn't a perfect time, but that's a pretty good time at 189. Okay? He told you to sell at 189. That's not bad because then you go to April 19th or April 14th where he told you to buy. You're at 170. He saved you money. Okay? When he tells you to sell, you want to take a look at it and say, maybe I want to sell. Me, I'm not. And the reason I'm not is in the 4-hour algorithm here, the algorithm got you in at 169. If we see some weakness here at 234, it's right now at 234.80. It's up 0.17 in the pre-market. You can take a look. If we look at, let's just see when the volume levels, when the algorithm got you in here, and it was April 25th, okay? It wasn't as good as April 14th sell. Well, probably about the same, 169, 168, somewhere around there. You're seeing this volume level at 214 to 218. That probably is a good resistance level. 221 is the top of this level. So 220 is probably your new support, not this 200. Okay, that's just an assumption. But again, you can draw it in here. We can take a look at the weekly. Am I buying this one right now? No. And the reason is because this MACD is just, even on the 4-hour, it's too high. The RSI is at 70. I'm not looking to buy this one right now. When we look at the weekly, it's even more stretched. Look at that MACD, okay? The only other time this one came up at 11 on here was at this point. Now, did it pull back? Not really. I mean, it was a 5% weekly pullback, which is enormous on this. This was August of 2020. It's about the same time. If we see a 5% pullback on Apple, load up. Just load up. I mean, we talk about, all the time, some likeness things. This is load up time. If you see a 5, you want to have, and I said it yesterday on the spaces, have 5 names where if they pull back 5% or more, you're just going to buy it. This is one of those names. I would argue this is one of those names. So I like this one. I like this stock. It is a large portion of my portfolio. Again, I'm doing well on this one, but this guy's buy and sell right there, that kind of leads me to think that this one might be, it might be something that I want to trim on weakness. But I'm not going to trim. When I talk about trim, remember, I'm not talking about selling out. I'm talking about the psychology of actually getting out. I'm talking about the psychology of I'm going to sell 1 or 2 shares, and I might do that every day for a week on continued weakness. And then what I'm going to do is when I want to buy back, I'm going to look at options. Is there a stronger place to put that cash? Because I am 95% invested at this point, 90% invested. When you're in a bull market, you want to be invested. What else do you want to invest in? MicroStrategy. This guy says MicroStrategy stock split upside potential enormous. This is a great article. MicroStrategy right here. I would argue you wanted to listen to the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 603% over the last 24 months. Okay. You make 660%. Is that 60%? Is that extra 60% going to change your life? No. Trade it. 1396, it got you in. You're at 1612 right now. 1608 in pre-market. You just covered this gap. The gap you just covered. And that was it. Now, are you going to all-time highs? I would argue Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, anything that's related to crypto is a Donald Trump trade. So if you think that, and their stock split is coming up in August, you want to own this into the stock split. Think about the audience for stock split. This is the degenerate stock that is going to benefit from that stock split. I don't think it can, again, I am going to get into this one. I should have gotten in at the 1396. I bought more IBIT. Probably a mistake. Now, let's take a look at some of the core portfolio they reported. United Health, it's up 2% at 526. I have said this before. I'm a little bit concerned about this one going up. I don't think that it's, until we get to the break the all-time highs on this one again, I don't think it's good. They just had their the cybersecurity. They're still spending. They're not back. United Health said it restored the majority of services, but not all. That's an issue. That's an issue. And if we look at this one on a weekly, I can tell you 450 provided you great bounces. You had one here in 2022. You had another one in 2023, February. You had another one in June of 2023 where you could add here. You had another one here in April where you dipped down to, it looks like 436, and it bounced back to 500. This is when you want to buy under 500 and sell when it's over 500 when it's got weakness. Okay, maybe we're putting in that final support at 500. And maybe that turns into not the trading range, but maybe the trading range moves up to 520. Again, they beat. It was good. Now, one that I said in the newsletter, if you don't know the newsletter, this is the newsletter. On the weekend, I said, hey, this is a $50 stock. And I put it out there. I said, it's a core portfolio stock. It's Bank of America. They beat. And where do you get all this stuff, by the way? You go over to Earnings Hub. Earnings Hub has your complete list of earnings. And we can see right here, you can listen to the Q4 call. They beat by 3% on earnings per share. They beat by 1%. Okay, here's the chart. Here's the full explanation here. It is a strong buy in the quant. Bank of America is a super strong buy. It's up almost 2%. This is a $50 stock. I've said it before. It is in the core portfolio for a reason. I own this one for a reason. Do I own a large portion of this? No, I was adding to this one under 30. And I'm still holding all of those shares under 30. I think I trimmed, I probably don't own. I think I trimmed a good portion of this, but I do own the majority of this. I think I trimmed back in, I think it was around this time I trimmed. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to this one. But again, you should be making your own decisions. What I do doesn't matter. But going into earnings, super strong. I said, if you can get this under 30, you should buy it. That was the weekend newsletter. It didn't. MACD, super high. RSI, super high. Am I getting out of this one? I'm going to wait for the earnings hype to die down. Probably sell it at 43, 45, and then try and get it under 40 again. I think that's the play. This isn't one that I'm in love with. I'm in long-term on this one. I like it. You know, this is a Tinder date. This isn't a marriage proposal. This one's a Tinder date. So I think I've got it in my retirement account too, which is even better. Charles Schwab. This is one of my favorite banks. They're down 4%. This is one where it dips. You want to buy it when it starts showing some signs of strength. They dipped down. Their earnings weren't that great. But I argue this is an $80 stock. Why is it an $80 stock? That's the previous resistance line. Okay? You can see it right here in December, January 2022, right there. You can see it right here in January 2023. It's going to get up to $86 again. So you're hanging on to your 50-day is moving positive. Your 200-day, you could get the golden cross here. Bollinger Bands will cinch up. This is one that you want to put on your list and you want to buy. Now, let's talk about some education here, because there was a quote from that I put in the newsletter. Steve Burns, price action is greater than any technical indicator. Yes, 100%. This chart that you see, let's take my favorite chart, Apple, okay? Let's take all of this and let's take a look at this chart. There is nothing on this chart that matters other than those candles. Everything else on this chart is to help guide you, but nothing else matters other than the price action. So whatever time frame you're looking at this, you want to look at the trend. What can this trend tell you? It can tell you it's a downward trend. You're having lower lows and lower highs. What can this tell you? We're in an upward trend, higher highs and higher lows. That's what you want to see. You want to make sure you identify the trend. So price action is greater than any technical indicator. What does the MACD tell us? It's a moving average convergence divergence. That just helps you understand the trend. Where is it? How far has it run? Is it going to pull back? Your RSI, it tells you how many buyers and sellers are showing up. That's all it tells you. It won't tell you the price action. Your price action trumps everything. Your Bollinger Bands just tell you, hey, is it trading sideways? Is this something that's looking for a bigger move? Your 9-day, your 21-day, your 50-day, and your 200-day, all that matters is the price action. Because the price action is greater than everything that's on this screen. So does the volume matter? No, price action does. And I thought that was a great quote. So I got a YouTube request from the Oracle yesterday. It wants me to look at POWW, Ammo Inc. Okay. I don't know what the hell this company does. Let's take a look at it. Let's hold our thoughts. So he says, what do you think of ammo for a long 4-year run? Here's the response that I gave him. Okay. Anyone that tells you that they know where a stock is going in 4 years is just outright lying. Nobody knows. Okay. So when you ask me, what do you think about this for a 4-year run? I don't know. I mean, honest to get anybody that tells you that it's going for a run, they're lying. They're lying, or they're making some type of educated guess, but your guess is as good as mine, Oracle. Understand, 4 years, you had the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. You could have inflation out of control again, 11%. You could have the Fed, refusing to reduce rates. You could have an administration that refuses to cut spending. Oh, that's going to be true. You could have an economy that is in danger because you have a commercial banking crisis. Those are all things. So it's crazy, and I will tell you, especially with a company that's not making money. With a company that's not making money, we can go and look at POW, Ammo Inc. It's up 15% yesterday. It's up 1% in pre-market. Pow is at high risk of performing badly. Let's see why. Learn why. It is the company's 3 months performance, minus 23%, while the consumer discretionary sector median is minus 7.5. That's bad. That's just bad. Now, Do you want to invest in POWW? Let's take a look at some of the factors. Valuation, B minus. They're not making money. I mean, it only gets a B minus because of their EBITDA. You can see their growth. C. They're negative. Their revenue growth, negative 23%. Momentum, D plus. That's at best 22% down. Your sector's up 2%. Buy the sector. What's the sector? Leisure products. Okay. Revisions, F, 2 down. Nobody covers this thing. So it's a stock that you want to trade. Now, how are you going to trade it? Well, you can try the 4-hour algorithm. You know why? 4-hour algorithm makes you 4% over 24 months. You know what you lose over 24 months in this one? 56%. Do I think you should even put money into a stock that is trading upper left to bottom right? No. Wait until the trend reverses. Now, is this the start of a reversal trend? I don't know. This week, you got a 4.9% candle. The high is $2.05. The low is $1.79. You got your MACD below there. If you want to trade this one, go at it. 4 years, you're out of your freaking mind if you're going to buy this and hold this for 4 years. Because right now, I can tell you the trend line for 4 years is you're going to zero. If you're going to spend $1.91 on this stock, expect to go to zero. That's just it. That's the danger of trying to predict a stock that's not making money. Tesla, when you're back in 2016, 2017, you're starting to see some of these Model S's roll out. The danger was that company wasn't going to exist. And Elon, even in August of 2018, when I bought my car, there was a danger that company was going to go bankrupt. Fisker just went bankrupt. This company could go bankrupt. 4 years, that's a long ass time. Nobody in their right mind could tell you exactly what's going on. Let's see. Jacob Malforte from 7 days ago. And I'm sorry, but Spotify just put these in, some of these comments in. But Jacob, he says, how do you feel about a company called Moby versus Seeking Alpha? I don't know Moby. You can Google Moby. I think it's an AI platform. I don't know about them, but they're picking 3 stocks a week. And they don't show you their portfolio performance. They just show you the 3 stocks, like 7 stocks that are up. That's what I saw when I looked at it. And I said, any moron could pick 3 stocks in a week. That's 15 stocks, and then show you 7 that are up. Any moron in a bull market could do that. How does the portfolio track against the S&P? They don't have it listed. Jim Cramer's investment club doesn't publish their performance exactly for that reason. Now, if you want a good portfolio, you can choose, you can do your own portfolio research, import it into Seeking Alpha in this Seeking Alpha Premium. Okay, Seeking Alpha Premium, I give you 25% off. It's the second link in Linktree. Now, if you want a good portfolio, this one is back tested and proven. It performs 122% versus 35%. This is Alpha Picks. I save you $50 with my coupon. We just had a new Alpha Pick yesterday. I published it in the newsletter that it's a stock that I would never have picked. I can't tell you exactly what it is because they restrict me from telling it for 3 months. But this portfolio, if you just want some ideas, if you just want a portfolio where you can add to stuff and have this type of performance, Alpha Picks is the one to sign up for. Save $50 with the coupon offer that I have. You go to Linktree, it's the third one. And again, just look at their performance. So when you ask me what I think about Moby, I think they are looking for your money. Honest to God, I think they're looking for your money. I'd rather have Seeking Alpha Premium, which is far less. Probably won't be, Moby, probably not worth it. But again, that's just my opinion. They don't put out a lot of free stuff. Alpha Picks, the front page tells you the performance. Anything that doesn't tell you the performance long term, this is from July 2022 to April 17th. And it's probably even updated. I mean, I can go over here and look. Let's see. Seeking Alpha Picks. We'll go into this about section. Let's see. That's the Alpha Picks. How have we achieved outperformance? Look at that. The updated performance as of Monday, July 5th, 135% versus the S&P up 48%. That's it. And you can pick whichever. Buy 5. I picked 5 before, and I bought the strong buy the entire performance. They tell you when to sell. So do I want Moby that's giving me 3 stock picks a day? Or do I want one that gives me one on the 1st and one on the 15th, and it's a buy and hold strategy? I would much rather have the buy and hold strategy that publishes their results, on the front page than something other than that. So be careful when you're out there and you're paying for stuff. Again, I'm an affiliate of Trendspider. I'm an affiliate of Seeking Alpha. I show you how I use those tools. And for me, I was a paying customer with these tools before I became an affiliate. I was a paying customer. So I was just like you. Now I am an affiliate. I do benefit when you sign up, but I'm not giving you anything that is like, oh my God, you've got to get on this because it's a huge performance. If you have the money and if it's something that will benefit you in your portfolio, then go and get it. But again, you've got to make sure that you've got the money because, Trendspider is an expensive tool. If you've only got $2,000 in your account, it doesn't make sense to spend, $600 on Trendspider. If you've got, $3 million in your account, it makes sense to pay, $1,000 for Trendspider. I will tell you that much. That's my opinion. But again, I would have all 3 of those tools if I've got millions of dollars in my account. I think they benefit you. So let's take a look at some scans and what the scans are, just so you know. It is my 4-hour algorithm, and I scan every morning to find you stocks that are bullish in the 4-hour algorithm. This is something that I do for free. You don't have to have Trendspider. You can go and chart them yourself. Oxy. Oxy is, buy here at 6202. Part of our watch list. And this is part of what you get when you sign up for Trendspider. You get all my scanners. You get all the algorithms. You get all of the watch lists. Here, Frog. Frog has, another entry. So the original entry was back here on June 24th at 33. Boy, don't you wish you took that one? Because you're going to fill this gap all the way up at $40. You have to get past that 200-day. But that's a nice one. That's setting up nicely right there. Heading into earnings in August. Toast, T-O-S-T. If you don't know, this is a great platform for local restaurants. It is an expensive stock. Your resistance is turning into support right now, 25. You can see that. 25.93 is where you have it. This entire week where it traded here, that's setting up support to move higher. Where are you going? Maybe you're going 27. Maybe you're going 28. When you look at the weekly on this one, it is clear. It is putting that support, that resistance level at 25. Right now, when I look at this, it looks like it's support in the short term. Okay, you had resistance back here. It got over it, didn't provide any support. Right now, you're seeing the price action is support. It got you out with a nice 2% gain here. What do you make? You lose 24% in the 4-hour algorithm. So I think the next 2 years will be good. When you take a look at this weekly, how are you not going to lose 24% in 24% over this when you got a downward trending stock that just trades sideways? Trade it with a different algorithm. But again, in the 4-hour algorithm, looks like it provides support. Duolingo, would I trade this one? No. I think Duolingo, kudos to them for even keeping up when AI is out there and it will live translate. I just don't believe in this stock. I think other people do. Now, one that I do believe in and is on a super watch list for me, APP. I like this stock. When we take a look at this one is an upward trend. This was a stock that was trading upper left to bottom right. And then you take a look at this one, and this was where Alpha Picks purchased this one, at 15. Again, Alpha Picks, fantastic portfolio. Another Alpha Picks one where they picked it, CLS, Celestica. This is an AI play. And this one has another bullish trend. 557, you're at 61. Now, the MACD is super low. RSI, a little bit extended. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 360% versus 500%. I would argue that this is one that you want to buy and hold. It's still a strong buy. I think it's a strong buy in the quant. Let's look at CLS. This one, strong buy in the quant. Your growth, a little bit in question. 10% growth. That's not, free cash flow. That's where they're having a little bit of a problem. It should be a little bit higher. But again, you want to take a look at these. So all these, we got some Bitcoin stuff. We have a leveraged ETF. We have a bunch of energy. Is energy getting a boost? We can look at the XLE. XLE right here. This is one where you're looking at 101. This one right here, 101 is the previous high. You're right around the 200-day. That 200-day, if you close this week above 91, and right now it's at 91.94. If you close this week at 91, your next resistance is going to be 93. So I'd wait for that 93, move up. But energy could get a kick here. It could. You know, if we're looking at some of the stocks in the core portfolio, you got United Health up 3%. You've got Shopify up 5%. This is one that I've said before that I think you could trade this one. But I think until it gets over this 200-day, I'm sitting there holding it. I'm holding this at about $64, $65, I think is my average purchase price. Doesn't have, you're out as far as the the 4-hour algorithm goes. But, look, it just got you out with a 10% gain in that 4-hour algorithm. That 4-hour algorithm is gold. It makes you 85%. What do you get if you bought and held this one for 2 years? 88%. Just use the algorithm. Protects you. But I do think you see this $80. Why that $80? Well, when we take a look at this, we can see the 200-day is still around that $80. You've bounced up here once in 2022. You bounced up here twice in February 2024. And you use this for quite a bit, all the way from, looks like December, all the way to April. It was bouncing up against that $80 range. Consumer sales just came out. Let's look at the other stuff. Bank of America up almost 2%. Amazon is up just over 1%. That's going back to 200, and then Jeff Bezos will sell it, and it'll go back. But again, any of the tools that I have, I'm there with you. These are the things that I use. Go to the link tree. You can get $20 off your first visibles as well. You can follow me on Savvy Trader. The YouTube link is right there. If you make money, I just say, hey, if you want to be generous and support me, I would sign up for the paid newsletter to support me. But if you want to just give me a PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App because you made money, treat me like your bartender. Send me a little gift and say thank you. But any of the tools, they're all here. Social media, if you have any questions, you can email me right here or get in touch with me on the socials. I try and respond the total way. Okay. Enjoy yourself. Have a great Tuesday. See you. Bye. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. What up, Andres? What up, John? What up, Chris? Morning, Laurel. SoFi's a good one to pump. I like it, and I said this last week. I like the CEO. I mean, you take a look at him versus like the Celsius CEO, which I saw speak, night and day. Good manager. Shop is up because the small to medium businesses that are on Shopify, they'll benefit from Prime Day as well. And remember, Shopify uses, I think they probably have their own promotions going on as well for their small, medium businesses. Easy Go? What made you go into Easy Go? Easy Go Technologies. I don't know why you'd go into this one. Elevator pitch, Alexander. It's not covered in the quant. Market cap. $4 million market cap. I don't know. So Alexander, one of the things I will tell you, if you're new here, develop your elevator pitch. Tell me why you invested in EasyGo. And you should, for every stock you own, you should have an elevator pitch. Why are you invested in it? And that's a 5 to 20 second discussion. So it's enough for you to type in. Why'd you invest in this one? I mean, I'm not saying you can't, I mean, I'd rather trade. It's down 97%. I don't, when you look at their financials, they're making 15 million. I mean, that's, again, we talked about DJT having nothing, but I can't, they're not making money. They're losing 8% per year on revenue, revenue of nothing. Profitability, their margin is only 7%. They have no pricing power. Momentum, they're down 7% over 3 months, 97% over 1 year. Let's see who their peers are. Their peers are Zap. Zap has been killing it. I mean, Zap, if you look at a 1 month performance, and Zap's killing it because they're in a short squeeze, by the way, but that's up 440%. But they have a $36 million market cap. Easy Go has a 4%. So AREC, I don't know what that is. American Resources. No. Oh, it's lithium? Get out. No. AREC? No. I mean, there's no reason to try and time something. And this is a stock that is upper left to bottom right. And no reason to time it. None. Now, if you want to trade it in the 4-hour algorithm, you lose 6%. Doesn't sound appropriate to me to trade it. But if you just bought and held 2 years ago, you're down 53%. So you take a look at the weekly chart, there's nothing. That's the triple. I think that's the triple levered. It's on the leveraged ETFs. I do have it, just so you know, on the FAS. It's on the levered ETFs to trade. It's going gangsta. Yeah. And FAZ, I think, is the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, Alexander, if you're new, okay, go to my link tree right here and go to Savvy Trader. This link down here, Savvy Trader, follow my trades for free. It will take you to the core portfolio here, okay? It is free. This is 35 names of stocks that you can trade that if you get in, I don't think you're going to get hurt, okay? That's the key to investing long term. If you're new, you just want to make sure that you understand that if you're trading something like Easy Go, you can make pennies and you can do that. That is not a key to long-term wealth. Long-term wealth is about finding companies that are good companies with good products, with good profits and good management. That's the key. Schwab is one of them. Schwab, but just, 35 names here. And it's not names that you haven't heard of. These are names that you probably have heard of. And here's the thing. Look at this. And this is what I point out to people is this is just 100 shares of these 35 names that were bought at, when the market was at all-time highs in June of 2023, June of 2023. It was at all-time highs. So the majority of these were bought at all-time highs. And look at it versus the Qs, okay? If you invested in QQQ, you're up 21% year to date. The daily stock pick core portfolio, which again, I wouldn't manage a portfolio this way. I just sold 900 shares of NVIDIA. Why the hell would I do that? Well, it's split. So I had 1,000 shares. I had to sell 900. It's up 37%. And it's just 100 shares. So these are the names. If you're new to this stuff, I would focus on these names. I wouldn't focus on the stock of the day. I wouldn't focus on anything else. You can buy crypto. You can do stuff like that. But again, if you're new, I'd rather see you trade something like this. And I think everybody else in the community would agree. But again, you have, learning and listening and understanding is great. But if you just listen and buy randomly because someone told you, that's the mistake that is going to cost you. So, Amazon's up. I didn't buy a bunch of Amazon. I should buy a bunch of Amazon. Oh. Wolf's Spaces is starting. I'm not invited to that one. Why am I getting an alert? I don't think I'm on this one. No. These guys are on Spaces all day. How do they make money? I don't know how the hell they make money. Ugh. Okay. Good call. NVDL you don't want to hold on to a long time. I think that's a good call. I think Nvidia is just, there's an overhang where people are selling it around $130. But I'm happy to add to this one while it trades sideways. I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm nervous about this. You know, Russell 2000 IWM's up 1%. Okay, I'm going to go. I got to get to Tesla, so I'm going to go. Sorry I can't hang out, but I will be back tomorrow. See you guys.